Quite an emotional one here from Robert Kubica. Of course, Kubica, the former driver for BMW, Renault and Williams in Formula 1 and a current endurance racer for Ferrari over in the World Endurance Championship, winning Le Mans for the first time in his career the other week as well. The guy is very much riding a high, and he joined Fernando Alonso as only the second man to win a Formula 1 Grand Prix and the prestigious 24-hour race in France. And for you guys that are old enough, for you guys that are my age or older, you'll remember how good Robert Kubica was back in the day. He was an incredible driver in Formula 1. And genuinely, for my money, could have been a world champion had the cards fallen right. Without a doubt, a multiple race winner. He only won one in 2008, of course. But let's have a look at what he's been saying here, because apparently some people at the time when he made his comeback for Williams in 2019, I think it was, they were just labelling this as a PR stunt. Some people were saying this was all about marketing, trying to boost sales. You know, he's not actually good enough to drive a Formula 1 car, which must have really hurt the guy. And that's pretty much what he said here. But let me just go into it here for you guys on the F1Chronicle.com as always. Robert Kubica has spoken candidly about the emotional toll of being dismissed as a PR muppet during his Formula 1 comeback with Williams in 2019, revealing how such comments caused personal pain despite his determination to compete at the highest level. Kubica returned to the spotlight earlier this month with a standout victory at the 24-hour of Le Mans, driving a Ferrari 499P hypercar alongside Phil Hansen and Yi-Fei Ye. Speaking to the BBC, Kubica said, "I don't think my limitations are limiting me behind the wheel. I think if someone had doubts in the past, I showed them those doubts should not be in place. I'm driving and I'm happy. I remember when I was rejoining F1, there was a lot of rumours and I understand, you see, the condition of my right hand. It's normal to ask questions if I'm capable, if it's safe. And there were some very extreme quotes from some people which hurt me because I'm the first one who would never like to just be at the back. Because I'm the first one who would never like to be at the back just for marketing or being a PR muppet." Kubica returned to Formula 1 with Williams in 2019 after missing out on a seat the year before. While his campaign was difficult, scoring just 1 point and being outqualified by teammate George Russell at every race, Kubica stressed that racing remained deeply important to him. "I have serious limitations in my right arm, but I don't remember how I was driving before. This is how I am now. It's probably one of the biggest successes of my life. At one period of my recovery, driving was my best medicine. I can see someone watching my hand, which is normal, but in the end, when I'm driving, I'm fully in myself. Honestly, I have bigger limitations in daily life than in racing cars." Kubica, whose sole victory at the 2008 Canadian Grand Prix with BMW Sauber, made 2 additional Grand Prix starts for Alfa Romeo in 2021, but officially stepped away from F1 in 2022. He admitted that thoughts of retirement surfaced soon after. "I asked myself 3 years ago, I was thinking I should stop. But I'm the most lucky person around the world. I have a holiday all year because I'm doing something I like. For me, racing is everything. Everything I do in daily life is to prepare for the racetrack. I don't know what else I would do. Stopping is a big decision and a scary one. The passion is still there. The fire is still there. My main engine pushing me is my passion." Good for you, Robert. Honestly, good for you. I was so happy to see that he won Le Mans this year. I think you couldn't get a nicer guy. You couldn't get a guy who deserves it more than Robert Kubica for everything he's been through. And yeah, there were a lot of people doubting whether he was fit enough, whether he was able to do it. He was kind of in and around Renault and Williams for a few years. He tested the Renault. I remember back then there were big rumours he was going to actually make a second debut, as it were, a comeback for Formula 1 after all those years away. And the fact that he got there was incredible. That if you've never seen his right arm, it's not fully dexterous, or it's not as useful as most people's are. He's effectively a bit impaired with that, and that's really, really crucial when it comes to driving cars at these speeds, and in particular in Formula 1, where the drivers are so kind of squeezed in there. There's not much room, there's not much elbow room around, you know. Frederic Vasseur was saying when he was making those 2-off appearances, the first of those at the Dutch Grand Prix, that he could barely get the car rotated around in the pit lane because it was so tight, and because he doesn't have the same range of motion as what most able-bodied people do when it comes to their arms. So, you know, the fact that he got there was incredible. And again, a lot of people were writing him off, saying he was a donkey, like, why have they brought this guy back? But you got to remember, the fact that he got there was incredible. That is more admirable and more impressive than the fact he got to Formula 1 in the first place. The fact he got there after his injury, I think is even more admirable. Yes, he was not the fastest. Yes, he was not the quickest. But he was also going up against George Russell in the same car. Yes, admittedly, a rookie George Russell. But he was coming into Formula 1 after nearly 10 years out of the sport. 9 years. From his last start in 2010 to his first start back in 2019. 8.5, 9 years. That's a long time. We talk about people taking breaks like Daniel Ricciardo. He's never going to come back to Formula 1 now. He's out of it. It's hard to get back in again. Kubica did it though. Kubica did it. And racing endurance races, even though it's much longer in the car, is a lot better for him because it's a regular car. You've got a lot more room to kind of maneuver around and stuff, so it is easy for him to do that. It does suit him more than what F1 does, and clearly he's still quick. Even all these years later, even at the age of 40, he's still fast. He's won Le Mans. So my hat, if I had a hat, I would take it off to you, sir. You're absolutely amazing. I love Kubica. Very much a what-if scenario in Formula 1. If Kubica never had his rallying crash in 2011, going to Ferrari in 2012, it could have happened. Him and Alonso in the same car. Scary prospect. Really, really would have been. That could have won Ferrari a Constructors' World title, I think. Genuinely. That could have made the difference. But your thoughts in the comments below, guys. How impressive was it that Kubica came back into F1? Or is he overrated? Where do you sit on this? Let us know in the comments below. Like, share, comment, subscribe as always. And have a fantastic day wherever in the world today. And we'll see you very soon.